Hello everyone, this is my third video. In my last video, I explained how we can produce positive energy vibrations to save the immediate surroundings, environment, society, people and country as a whole. In order to understand the significance of Namiho Renge Kyo and as to who expounded Namiho Renge Kyo, it is necessary to explain it in the stream of Buddhist thought and history, as it has a deep-rooted connection with the Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings. Let's first take a brief overview of Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings. Shakyamuni Siddhartha Gautama Buddha lived roughly 3000 years ago in northern India. Born as a prince of a Shakya clan and originally called Siddhartha Gautama, Shakyamuni Buddha grew up in regal luxury. It has been prophesied at his birth, however, that he would never inherit the throne but rather was destined to become a man of great wisdom. His father, the king Shuddhodana, therefore saw to it that the young prince would never be tempted to leave the palace by coming into contact with the world outside the palace walls. One day, however, Prince Siddhartha found himself at one of the gates to the palace and happened to see a man bent by the old age, and he said nothing. But the next day, another gate, he came across a sick man. The next day, at the third gate, he saw a corpse. And on the fourth day, at the last gate, he saw a religious ascetic. Greatly disturbed by the four encounters, Prince Siddhartha determined to leave the palace to search for the solution to what he came to realize were the four inescapable sufferings of life, that is birth, old age, sickness and death. First, he sought out the foremost spiritual teachers of his day and practiced the extreme forms of asceticism they advocated as the means to realize the ultimate reality of life. After following their teachings for a number of years, he was on the verge of death from fasting. Shakyamuni Bodhisattva realized that their path to enlightenment was useless. Instead, after regaining his health and strength, he sat down under a pipal tree, entered a state of profound meditation, and finally attained enlightenment. He was enlightened to the truth of the universe by developing his mind to the highest state of realization. He had to prepare his listeners by first teaching them more easily understandable doctrines according to the capacity of the listeners, often using parables and everyday analogies in the process. Gautama Buddha started laying the foundation to be able to reveal the supreme bliss that he experienced. That is, the experience of achieving such a higher state of mind, experiencing true happiness. The first 3 weeks, he tried to make people understand, and he stopped preaching the preliminary stages of the Lotus Sutra because the people couldn't comprehend what he tried to expound, because the people were following heretical teachings and holding pagan beliefs. Therefore, the first 12 years, he started to teach according to their capacity. For examples, such as Kisa Gautami, when a child died, her grief was so that she didn't believe that it was so, and that she believed that the child could be cured. And she went to the Buddha. Buddha understood her mentality and asked her to bring mustard seeds from a house where nobody had died. She went in search of mustard seeds but couldn't find the mustard seeds, as there wasn't a single house where nobody had died. Finally, she understood the reality. In this way, Shakyamuni Buddha was gradually able to elevate the life conditions of those he taught while holding his ultimate goal, which he revealed towards the end of his life at the age of 72 years when he preached the Lotus Sutra. The experience of coming to such a higher state of mind, experiencing true happiness, his ultimate aim was to show the people that they themselves, without exception, inherently possess the Buddha nature, the highest state of life condition, so everybody could develop the qualities needed to encounter their sufferings. Through developing qualities of the Buddha, that is wisdom, courage, compassion and life force, to teach that these great qualities are latent in everyone and that the more ordinary people are able to develop these qualities amidst the harsh realities of their everyday lives, the greater the problems that they will be able to tackle and eventually overcome. By coming to an unshakable mind when facing obstacles, he spent the rest of his life among the people, visited places, teaching people to come to the level of understanding. First he went to his teachers, and then there he expounded his first sermon. Then he went to his birthplace. His relations didn't believe that he attained such a state of mind by looking at his outward appearance. In Buddhism, as in many systems of religious thought, there arose a tendency to view the founder as a transcendental or a superhuman being and revere him as an object of worship. Buddha, an enlightened one, in the sense that a Buddha is enlightened to the eternal and unchanging truth of all phenomena. The ultimate purpose of Buddhism lies in awakening to this truth. Please stay tuned for my next video by clicking on the bell icon and subscribing to this channel so that you will be alerted once it's released. Thanks for watching. I hope you all stay safe. See you in the next session.